Hi there, welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of unique spaces and showcase stories of people building alternatively in teeny tiny spaces or even on extreme budgets, which is the case for this week's video. So today we're traveling to the big island of Hawaii to visit a tree house unlike any other. This remote off-grid DIY build boasts sweeping jungle views and a thrifty interior design. We're gonna meet the owner and builder, Kristie WOLFE, and she's gonna talk about how she was able to complete this treehouse on a tight budget of just $23,000, and that even includes purchase of the land. But before we jump right in and take a tour of this stunning treehouse, if you like videos like this, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time we publish a new episode.
I've been building unique Airbnbs since 2014 full-time. I was able to build a hobbit hole in Chelan, Washington. I remodeled a fire lookout in the panhandle of Idaho. I converted a 6-ton promotional potato into a hotel in Boise. And then I have a shipwreck house in Salmon, Idaho, and the cocoon house in Lakeside, Oregon.
My goal is to have spaces that people can disconnect and then reconnect. And today I'm going to show you my first one, which is the Big Island Treehouse. I really wanted to build a treehouse, and I decided Hawaii would be perfect, even though I had not been there. I found a lot that was $8,000, and I bought it sight unseen. The treehouse is about 5 miles away from Volcano National Park, but it is in a more remote, less densely populated part of any of the islands. You're not going to probably see other tourists when you're staying at my treehouse, which I think is a great thing. It's really a perfect environment to be off-grid in. The temperature hovers around 80 all year round. You have lots of rain, so you can fill up your small tanks really quickly. And then there's plenty of sunshine too for solar power. The treehouse is about 230 square feet. It's just a box with a 3.5-foot lanai all the way around it. Initially, I wanted it just to be on these little pillars, but I couldn't find any beams thick enough over in Hawaii to use, something that would have been structural enough. So I had to build 4-foot corners on each side, and at first I really hated it. I wanted to look like it was floating, but now I can't imagine it another way. I spent $11,000 to build the structure, and I spent about $4,000 on flights, renting a place the first month, and just like food and things like that. And then the land itself was $8,000, and I paid that monthly over the course of 3 years. My property for the treehouse is at a dead end of a road. It's about 75 feet back into the rainforest and this little windy red cinder path. And then you'll see the treehouse there. You have solar lights that light it up from underneath, and you can see all the hanging plants. And I have this hanging bed that is actually made from a trampoline, and it has mosquito netting around it, and it's bolted into the bottom of the treehouse. There is a ladder stair is what we call it, so it's kind of like a steep staircase. And then there is a trap door, and you lift that up, and there's a stopper that will hold it into place while you go up the stairs. You can either carry your bags up that way, or we have a pulley off the front that you can hook your different luggage to and hoist it up. There's 2 sliding glass doors. This was one of the few things I was able to get used in Hawaii because it was really hard to source a lot of used materials. And then you walk right into the bedroom. And I just have one divider wall in the space, and that is covered with this gold fern leaf vintage 70s wallpaper. The headboard came about because the windows in the shower, the tracks for those came in this hard cardboard tube that sometimes you get things shipped in. I cut that in half, and that's the sides of the headboard, and then I got this matting and a spare piece of plywood, and that's the headboard, and I just glued and stapled it to there. I also took apart some bamboo roller blinds that are really prevalent over there, and I used that to line the back of the divider wall. I just left it open studs and added some shelves in there to not waste any space. The whole bedroom is basically windows. There's no curtains in the space because I'm on a dead end. Most people staying there are honeymooners, and so it just creates this like really magical place to wake up to with the light filtering in from all these windows. Glass is kind of a weird situation in Hawaii. You can't just buy it at Home Depot. You have to go to a glass company there, and it's much more expensive. But what you can buy is plexiglass. So all those triangles up in the eave, those are all cut with a circular saw in the space, and then I put different lumber and kind of just sandwiched it in between there, and it's worked out really well. The kitchen counter, I use that loosely, a kitchenette counter is done with 2x6s. I added a sink there and then just a little cooler and a coffee setup. Going through this sliding door, I couldn't get a door that was as tall as the space I needed. I actually ended up just buying a really cheap hollow core door, adding a couple casters on the bottom to make it slide, and then you can see that screen part at the top. I just framed it in with 2x2s to get the height that I needed, and then to make it not just be a solid box and to let light flow between the rooms, I just cut different branches, and so that's what's kind of zigzagging up into that space. So then if you open up that, then you're in the bathroom. And in the bathroom, we have our toilet with the sink on top, and that's to save water. So when you flush the toilet, water automatically comes out of the bamboo faucet that I cobbled together, and you can wash your hands and it fills that tank back up. And then we have the shower, which the corner is the slatted windows, so you can open those up in a rainstorm. It's awesome. And then I really wanted to bring like a tree element in since it wasn't sitting on a tree. And I found this tundra cork bark is what it's called. And it's not meant for showers, but it's made with real cork, and I tiled the shower with it, and then I put living plants. And I've had this treehouse for 7 years, and I've had to replace just the bottom row of cork that was getting a lot of water. And so it's really held up really well for not being something that was supposed to go into a shower. And then I have a really oversized shower head that hangs down in the middle, and that will just completely make you feel like you are showering in the rain. I grew up very modestly. We didn't have a lot of money. I wanted to have houses in different locations. Owning a house in a different area that's just going to sit vacant doesn't appeal to me, but being able to share that experience with people all over the world is what I just love. I don't have a favorite of my builds. I always think whichever one I'm at the time, I'm like, this one's my favorite. But really, they all have different aspects to them that I really enjoy. I plan on doing this for as long as it's fun. Right now, it's super fulfilling, and I intend to keep building.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more builds by Kristie WOLFE, we've actually featured her several times on this channel before, so make sure you check out that playlist we have linked in the description, and check back soon because we publish a new episode every single week.